Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna start. I checked out the shear that I posted last year. It was like maybe half of what we did or something, but that's why I was confused a little bit. But we'll try and do a little bit more. B'ez Hashem. So we're starting from paragraph page Kuf Samatal, the very end, last paragraph. Hine Hamad Rasha Shahar Miklipas Olam Hatzav. Hamad Rasha is from this klipa of Olam Hatzav. She Asiya Shkin Hamad Makoil Olitzav. That is Asiya. Right? Asiya is this world, this Bechina is called Tzav, right? So,
is it a parsha?
What? Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting things. It's sort of like the Indian of the Olam Asiya. That's where everything really happens. Like everything really happens here. Like here you're challenged, and that's where things really get done. So mitzad echad, right? This is the tzav. This is like everything you do is commanding good, or good things, or not so good things. The person goes to sleep. Actually, yeah, that's the thing of the to meet in a minute. Actually, yeah, the right, the scene of the tzav. That's one very simple way of understanding it. Right, this beginning of tzav. Tzav, he was trying to command the negative, and very much this world is a lot of negative. It's very, very negative. It's very hard to overcome. The klipas here, there's a lot of forces getting in the way and making things difficult for us to really connect to Hashem. A lot happening, and it's not easy to really be in a place where you're able to do the good. But the positive is very powerful. That's why Nachman says that you can do avoda. One little thing you do is like more than 1,000 years of a malach, really doing big avodas, because the malach is no bechira, big deal. Big deal. What's the big thing? People learn all the, how will you say, you hear about these shindalets, these bechets, these ruchim, ruchas, whatever. Like really, the Ramad Valley says they are dying for a human being to actually bring them into the world, because we are the real koach. The tzav is here. They need us. They have nothing. That's what the Chofetz Chaim says. It brought down other places. This idea of if you don't focus on them, they have no koach. It's even the Kavanas actually says that's why the Rambam. It's very schwer. The Rambam says no such thing. Gemara says the Choshev-Arizal says Tzorchim Gadol. It's Gemara. It's all over the place. There's no such thing. So the Kavanas says no, he knew there was such thing. He said he's saying there's no such thing. People read that it was Kobein the Rambam. They killed their whole koach. They had absolutely no koach. That was his whole plan. That was he trying to. Yeah, it's an interesting mala. Actually, yeah, this bechin of this tzav. That's Haman. He is the master of this world. We kind of lost the shefa here. We lost the shefa here. It's not so easy. It's not so easy when we're in Golas, when things are difficult. We don't have the shefa. He has the shefa. So Maseh says he has the shefa. We're struggling. It's one of the reasons why the Megillah is filled with references, different money things, all the money, this and that, beautiful and different. Mordechai went left in this way, because there's a very big fight about the shefa de kedusha, what's going to happen. And part of that has to do with also with money. So right, so he's from the Olam Hatzav. It's a seer. The Havan with the coil is tzav, and that's where it ain't tzav. The Razor tzav. The Gemara says lebechina of Razor, because again you have this. Yes, we have this koach, but really it's very, very, very hard to use it right. In this place of it's generally speaking, this whole world seems to scream the opposite of divine providence. If you can consider things with the proper frame of mind, then that's wonderful. Then you can come to Hashem even when you contemplate nature. The trouble is, and I always say the lesson, the beautiful lesson, the lesson says, he said, this world is a mask. That's why very often you find people in the nature, they're not particularly spiritual. Even though nature should bring you to Hashem, where did this come from? But it's hard to be spiritual. It's hard to connect to the spiritual because you're focusing on the mask. It's the same thing with Tanakh. If you focus too much on Tanakh without Chazals, you can get confused very easily. Because again, it masks something. So the minute you get involved in a mask, you get confused. It's not so easy to figure it out, to sort it out. So this is yes, this world is very, very holy, very beautiful. If you pick up the sparks here, but the hardest sparks to pick up are here. The hardest sparks, the most difficult sparks, the Maseh. Maseh is very difficult. Very difficult. Not a pashta thing. Right? Who high machashel gadol v'yod mikoach hatuma nimshach alav shos haisa kadusha b'sod dubita. He was a very big mechashev. He was a very, very big sorcerer, killer, right? And he knew the koach hatuma. From the koach hatuma, he knew a lot about kedusha. That the kedusha was in this place is called dubita. maybe the easiest way of understanding Domita, there are many, many ways and beautiful ways in Avoda and a lot of beautiful things. But like very simple is this Bechin of Yerida L'Tzorach Aliyah. You have a Yerida L'Tzorach Aliyah. Every time you're supposed to go up, you have a Yerida first. Rabbi Nachman says when a person is Yerida, you should flip it around. Even if it's his fault and he messed up and he made a mistake, you have to flip it around and say, no, if that's Yerida L'Tzorach Aliyah, so I need to get to, I can bring a higher Aliyah now, right? This is when it's time to bring the Beis Hamikdash. It's really actually time. So that's mamash the biggest Yerida to go to a big Aliyah. So you have to fight back. You have to work hard. You have to learn how to navigate that Yerida. While they have this bechina, it's called Dumita, which we'll talk a little more about. But whatever this Dumita is, Ham was like, I can deal with them because they're not going to be redeemed. And it's just going to stay like this now because it's already after 70 years and it's over. They weren't Zoche, and forget about it. I can kill them out. That's what he thought. So the euphemism, the haters of Israel shouldn't have any kind of way of picking themselves up, right? Any kind of redemption. He said, there is a nation that is spread out and scattered. And I say, just say, Chazal, Yeshnoi. Shipirshu Yoshan Huelu Kashlem, Akilu Hashem, Akilu is sleeping, Kibyachol, it's Bechin of his Dumita. That's why we're sort of in stasis, as it were. But who sort of means to became, and Shu Yoshan, because it's Bechina that's called sleep, which we'll talk a little more about in a minute. But it's a Lachzor, Panim, Lachzor, the Belpis, and Midrash, Pam, Shenis, it's Batra, Kibyachol, Atzma, Yisbarach, Plebes, Midrash, Chas, V'Shalom. So we Bizochat, Mivatul, the whole Inyan. And we don't need any Beis Hamikdash. No, thank you. That's again, this is Bechin of Haman, and we find this very often the same theme. That the Rishon, what they want to do is they want to get rid of anything special about Kedusha. They want to just exist in the Bechinah that's called Igulim, the Bechinah that's Teva. Teva, this level of Teva where there's nature and Hashem makes lots of things which we don't have an understanding of. It doesn't seem to be after relevance to Bechira. Continue with us. It's enough. We don't need to do anything. What do we need to do? What do we need to work on? Fine, very good. V'hini b'layla hu nadash nasa melech malkshla. The nasa melech, the melech woke up. That's Kivyachol Hashem. B'gia shash yodo moichin azar. P'nem nizah gata moichin. Okay. What does that mean? That's the question, right? So, I guess we'll go through now again this whole Inyan. Very quickly, this Inyan of the Dumita. What's the Dumita and how that works? The Inyan of the Dumita, right? The Inyan of the Dumita is, generally speaking, first of all, the terrorists, the Leib Leger. Right, Leib Leger, he explains that, right? He explains that the Inyan of the Bechin, we want to get this Bechin, it's called the Bechin da Abba. So he said, we have very high things. What is Bechin Abba? It means Bittul, Tek to Shem, and totally nothing. So it sounds very beautiful. But he says very simple. It means on Purim, you get the real understanding in the deepest parts of you that Hashem is your Father, He's right there with you. That's Bechin Adi B'Marim Hashem. Hashem, right, is exalted on high. So that's Avi. Hashem is right here in the Father. Any chef for anything you need, any Yeshua you can bring down in Purim. That's the first thing. So generally speaking, you have the Bechina, you're connected in a way that each thing is connected in a different manner. So you have the Bechina that's called Ima, and then Abba, Ima's Bechina that's called Tshuva. Tshuva, you have to get to a place of Tshuva that's already above nature. And you have the Bechina of Abba, it's even more sublime. Amarti Echkemav, I said I would become unwise, understanding, get the level of Chachma, and He's far from me. So first of all, you want to get to Chachma, you have to feel far, number one. And generally speaking, a person who's far, that's the person who can access the level of Chachma. If you're not far, you don't feel far, you feel like you have it in your back pocket, you have nothing. That's a general rule, right? So this inyan of the Dumita, so all of these levels, level of Im and Abba, right? It's called Tshuva. And it's called, right, this Abba, it's the deep serenity and connection to Hashem, a deep level, right? Those levels are above nature. So usually it's not so easy to reach the Bechina that's called Abba. Again, Amad Echmu Yuchal many, right? Onei de Bashar Bala, the Zohar says. Her husband's known as the gates, right? Kol Chag Kafuma, Mad Bashar Belibe. Everyone is like he evaluates in his heart. Like, You know, in the gates means you can't even talk to someone else. Now know what you're talking about, what your bechinas of chachma, what you touch. So sometimes a person is further away, he can access more of the bechin of chachma. There's a special shmir to him, there's a special help, a special ability to connect to this shmir that's happening. The priest Chaim says a lashon that shines till it on Maseh mamish. Person last sees and for this place and you read there's a protection happening. There's special protection happening there. So you're more connected to the Bechin of Abba. And Haman wanted to break through that. How is he going to break through that? Haman wanted to break through that. How? He said, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll deal with these guys. I have a way to deal with them. No problem whatsoever. He said this. He figured it's all gonna stay this way because they're not worthy for Geula. So he said, I'll just deal with the ore that's coming to this Bechin, the ore Abba that protects them. So that's Mordechai.
Right.
So I hang Mordechai on the Nachash, right? The son of the Nachash, the Nun Shari Klipa, this Bechin that's right, it's like 50 Amas, and I killed them off. That's what he figured. And Purim was the opposite. Purim, things worked out the exact opposite. He was trying very hard. He had a lot of different aids how to do that and how to make things happen the way it was supposed to happen. So Purim, we flipped around. I should just do a right. We overcame our enemies. That's the bottom line of the avoda of what Purim is about.
How many knows?
Huh?
How did any of the people that we speak about in the Torah, be it Pharaoh, be it Haman, how do they know these things are going
They
on?
had they were very connected in a different kind of place. There's a whole Indian of all these places where they are, where they were.
Do you knew about all these little tumors?
Yep, that's very clear. Depends who, depends what. Haman for sure, that's what he just said. Choshev, and he knew what's what. Big stuff. Haman, maybe we'll see it, right? Mem Nun of Haman is the man of Manspach. Right? He's Memnun. His wife Zeresh is Tzaddik. And the Chachamim, right? Man's Pach is the Pach. They were at the beginning of the 5 gurus, and they were trying to. Haman knew very, very, very connected, in the wrong way. He knew what was what. He knew what was going on. That's what he needed to do. That's very, very big kids.
How do they know this?
They had a koch. They knew what was what. They knew what was going on.
It's the same thing with Bilam, like...
Yeah, Bilam also had a koch. Bar also had a koch. Each one had his own.
Are they born with this? Like, they just have an affinity?
You have to work hard. There's always you work hard together. You work as hard. You work to do show, work to cleave. You gotta work hard.
They worked hard?
Yeah, they had to work very hard. That's just
What's hard about going towards the Klibas?
if you want to get a sugus, you work. That's the way it works.
I guess there's a certain time where it just actually gets into an avoida.
Yeah, I guess
Even
fasting.
with-
It's
on
goofy.
side
It
shaking.
works. The person's to work. Either way, you got to work.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise,
Kivyachol, that's the Arizal. Again, the Arizal said he got the Pnimius of the Chachma, and the Ramak was the Chitzonius. So the Chaim Vital said, but the Ramak and I, we worked so hard, we toiled so much, we cried so much in tefillas, we fasted so much. How come you got the Pnimius? Here you come, young man, and suddenly you have it all. He said, you're right. You worked hard. You cried hard. You fasted hard. I worked harder. I cried more. I fasted more. So I got it. But the more you work, you have to work. It's not so easy. You work, you learn, you figure it out. It's not so simple. No free lunch. You have to work hard. I mean, whatever. It's not like you think you want to have kochos. Your kochos is a different thing. But actually, yeah, that's a little bit of what we're holding. So this is a whole discussion. I would love to finish this, but I don't think I have time right now, unfortunately. Anyway, we'll quickly go through a little bit. So again, so when you have the way the Shemitah works, you have the Bechina that's right. We have the Bechina that's the Bechina that's called the Bechina of Abba is not at all, not blocked at all. Usually the Bechina is called the armpit blocks, the emotional self, balanced self. Whatever you want to say exactly, the shot is and what this means. Their armpit, but actually, yeah, right. That blocks. It's hard to access the Bechina that's called Abba. When there's no Bizarpin Ki'ilu is lumbering Kivyachol, you're not, it's just the guy just whatever it is, it's not just Bechina, it's Abba that comes in. That's what happens, generally speaking. So that's what connects it. Bechina is called Yisod Abba, and that is the Koch of Mordechai. His Kavanas, there's a lot more to say, but I'm supposed to, I'm already late for the next commitment. And B'ez Hashem, hopefully, we'll be Zocher. B'ez Hashem.